Hi, I'm Alex, and in this short presentation, I will reveal a wacky but very effective secret formula that will show you how to access the impulsive part of any man's mind. This formula is so ridiculously powerful, it will make any man feel a special kind of desire for you, a desire so intense that you'll be able to send his pulse racing through the roof and have him buckling at the knees just thinking about you. No, I'm not talking about mere liking or attraction here. What I'm referring to is a kind of desire which is so intense that a man feels almost spellbound by you. This is the kind of desire which makes his heart pound in his chest and makes his body literally shake with excitement at the very thought of you. This same formula will give you the power to make any man desire you so badly that he will experience an intense and almost overwhelming urge to be with you all the time. I'll show you how to make any man feel a special kind of love, which is so emotionally addictive that he will want to be with you and only you till the end of time. But before I get to it and share this formula with you, I want you to stop whatever else you're doing right now and pay very close attention to this presentation because it's not going to remain online for too long. This presentation contains controversially sensitive secrets, which can do a lot of good or harm depending on how it's used. Therefore, I don't know how long this video will remain online. I can almost guarantee that this is nothing like anything you've heard or seen before. So make sure you watch it right now while it's still available. By the end of this presentation, you will find yourself shocked and amazed in a good way and a bad way. I'll explain why in a moment. But before that, I want to tell you something that you probably aren't aware of yet. The formula I'm talking about is known to less than 1% of some very lucky women on this planet because this very formula can make any man shower you with so much love, attention, and adoration that it's almost scary. I want you to take a deep breath right now and just imagine something for a second. Imagine feeling sweet tingles in your stomach when you finally witness the very man who didn't want to be with you and who even told you that he doesn't want you in his life literally turn into an obsessive stalker who won't leave you alone and yearns for you so badly that he can't sit straight. Imagine yourself pressing your palms to your cheeks in absolute shock when you see that absolutely dry and unromantic man turn into this hopeless lover who grabs you firmly, lifts you up in his arms, comes so close that you can feel his warmth, and with a passionate glare in his eyes gently whispers, "There is something about you that I just can't resist. You have no idea how special you are to me. I'm really lucky to have you in my life." Imagine how powerful you will feel when you can give a man strong adrenaline spikes on the very first date and make his heart literally freeze and pound at the very sight of you. Just imagine a first date where a guy is sitting nervously in front of you, and he keeps biting his lips, trying to think of the right thing to do. Imagine him sitting there with a restless posture, planning and obsessing over every detail, and struggling to string a sentence together because he doesn't want to screw up his chances with you. Imagine feeling the sensation of pure joy rushing through your bones when the same non-committal man tells you that you're the perfect woman for him. Imagine the shock and excitement as you watch him get on one knee in a very public place without any fear of embarrassment as he stares deeply and affectionately at you. Then, with a deeply loving glare, almost like a needy puppy dog, he literally begs you to marry him. Imagine how good you will feel when this same man tells you how badly he wants to be with you and how he will turn into this hopeless wreck without you. Imagine how relieved you will feel when the very man who dumped you for another woman tells you how irresistible, beautiful, and sexy you are. Imagine him wanting you so badly that he starts chasing you like a crazed maniac and desperately wants to hold you, touch you, feel you, and get close to you once again. Just imagine how envious and red-faced other women will be when they burn with unwanted rounds of jealousy as they watch you effortlessly make any man go out of his way to do nice and pleasing things for you. Imagine the surprising look on their face when they see you making extremely attractive and great men emotionally yearn for you with so much intensity that it's almost too good to be true. I'll show you exactly how to make any man love you so intensely and deeply that he will depend on you like a fish depends on water. He will feel an almost electrical frenzy of attraction for you and will find himself completely enslaved by your raw magnetism. In fact, this formula is so powerful that it makes a guy experience the same type of addiction that he experiences at a casino. He wouldn't want to stop, and it just wouldn't be within his control because it's all going to be impulsive. I'll show you how to evoke certain feelings in his mind and body, which will make him feel utterly addicted and hooked to you and only you. His stomach will do somersaults in excitement when he experiences a flood of intense desire rise up in his body at the very thought of you. Don't be surprised if a man craves your love like a newborn baby craves his mother after you discover this formula. The best part is that this formula is so damn simple that you will feel almost silly for not having discovered it earlier. Sounds impossible, right? I can almost see you sitting there shaking your head in disbelief, and I don't blame you for it. After all, what I've said is hard to believe and even sounds impossible right now. But this is all possible because of one simple reason. I will reveal a very unique way to trigger the impulsive part of any man's mind. This is that specific part which fills up with an uncontrollable level of urgency and desire when you charge it the right way. I'll show you exactly how to do it by using one ridiculously simple technique later in this presentation. So I want you to suspend your disbelief for just 5 minutes and watch this presentation till the very end, because what you're going to discover in this presentation will be one of the most important things you'll ever learn. You probably have two big questions right now. The first question is, who am I? And the second question is, what is this formula that I'm yapping on about? My name is Alex Carter, and I'm a professional pickup artist. Now you must be wondering, what's a pickup artist? Well, a pickup artist is someone who is an expert at meeting, attracting, and seducing women. I know. This probably makes me sound like one of those bad boys, or probably even a player. But before you make any assumptions, I must clarify that I've studied the art of attraction like a doctor studies medical science. In other words, I know exactly what to say or do to make any woman feel heavy bursts of attraction towards me in any situation. But wait, how does this benefit you? Or why should you even care? Well, you shouldn't just care. I'd say you should glue your eyes to this presentation with 100% attention, because this won't just benefit you, it will literally change your life. Okay, you're probably wondering, how will this change your life? Well, in order to prove that, I need to tell you my crazy story. I still remember that day very vividly. It was around 6 o'clock in the evening when my best friend Heather showed up at my doorstep with tears burning down her face. My heart started to beat faster and I felt my palms getting sweaty. With a lump in my throat, I asked, "Heather, what's wrong?" In a very weak and shaky voice, she said, "He wants to get rid of me. He doesn't want me anymore. I don't know what to do. I can't live without him." I figured what was about to come. This wasn't the first time Heather was experiencing a desperate situation with a man, and this wasn't the first time she came to me for advice. She'd been dumped 4 times in the past, and each time her condition grew from bad to worse. She has had self-esteem issues for as long as I can remember. In fact, she hates the very idea of herself and has struggled with weight issues right since her teenage years. She had really high hopes from this relationship, but unfortunately, history was about to repeat itself. I gave her a gentle hug and I felt her body literally shaking from head to toe. This made me very nervous. Just by looking at her puffy eyes and swollen face, I could tell that she'd been crying for quite some time and was really feeling the hit. She was on the verge of a literal breakdown. I desperately wished for her well-being. I wanted to drag her out of this pain. So I sat her down and I decided to do something I'd never done before. After a lot of inner resistance and going through an internal battle of whether I should or shouldn't, I just gave her my secret formula and asked her to try this on her boyfriend as soon as possible. At first, she stared at me with a blank look on her face and asked, "Will this work?" I confidently said, "Look, don't prejudge this, just do it and see what happens next." The next day, I sent her a text asking, "So, did it work?" I didn't hear back from her for several hours. After that point, Heather didn't reply to any more texts and switched her phone off. I tried calling her a few times, but to no avail. With each passing day, I was growing more and more anxious. On the 4th day, I heard a knock on my door. I looked through the peephole and immediately felt like a huge load had been lifted off my shoulders. It was Heather. I quickly opened the door and surprisingly saw a very different person standing in front of me. She was standing there with a wide grin plastered across her face. Before I could say anything, she pushed me back a little, stormed into my house, and jumped on the couch like a little kid. I said, "Whoa, someone is very happy today." She said, "Well, I have good news and bad news. First, I'll tell you the bad news. I'm moving." Confused, I asked, "What? Moving? Where?" With a slight blush, she got a little closer to me and said, This is where the good news comes in. I'm moving in with my boyfriend. I asked, wait a minute, is this the same guy who wanted to get rid of you a few days ago? She admitted, yes, that was a few days ago, but not anymore. He's been calling me endlessly since the last couple of days and keeps telling me how much he loves me, misses me, and wants to be with me. The tables have finally turned. I'd never seen her with this much confidence before. I was about to ask her for more details when suddenly she stormed towards me and hugged me so hard it almost choked me, and boy was she strong. Then she drowned her face hard into my chest and sobbed, thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without your help. Her reaction struck an emotional chord with me. I suddenly remembered how I used to struggle around women as well. All images of past rejection, humiliation, and embarrassment started running through the screen of my mind. That's the moment when I decided to make it my core mission to help as many women as I possibly can with this information. I won't lie, but I was extremely surprised seeing Heather's reaction. I mean, I knew this formula would work, but I didn't know it would work this fast and with this much accuracy. My mind started racing with more ideas, and I felt my head spinning in wild circles with an overflow of creativity. I knew that I was having a light bulb moment, only in this case, my head had turned itself into this huge, odd-looking light bulb radiating with so much light that it could blind someone. But then it all suddenly came crashing down. A little evil voice in my head said, "Are you sure this will work on every man and with every situation?" I didn't quite have an answer to this yet, but I was overflowing with so much curiosity and excitement that I absolutely had to test it out with more women. In the coming months, I shared this exact formula with hundreds of women, and honestly, the results exceeded my expectations. There were times when I used to literally squeal and giggle, embarrassingly, just like a little girl, with utter euphoria each time a woman would report back to me with amazing results. One woman told me that she was completely struggling in her dating life because most men used to avoid her after the first date. She used to spend most days waiting by the phone in hopes that some guy would call back, but she never used to hear back from any man. This was a huge blow to her self-esteem, and she was immensely suffering because of this. But all this radically changed after she applied my formula. The first time she applied my formula on a guy, he told her that he would be privileged if she gave him an opportunity to date her further. Over the next few weeks, almost every guy she went out with desperately wanted more dates with her. Another lady said she was desperately trying to get her ex back, but nothing was working. However, the moment she used my formula, she was completely lost for words because, for the first time in several months, her ex spoke to her and even agreed to meet for coffee. Another woman reported back saying that she can't believe she hadn't discovered this earlier. She tried it on her distant boyfriend and was completely surprised to see how quickly and easily he opened up, and even told her things he had never discussed in the past. So now you must be wondering, all right, Alex, enough foreplay. Can you please share this formula with me? Well, I would be more than glad to. My formula is called the Impulsive Desire Method. And just as the name suggests, it makes a man feel an almost impulsive, raw, and extremely intense level of desire for you. It doesn't matter if you're married, single, or in a complicated relationship. It doesn't matter what you look like or whether you are overweight or underweight. This formula works really well, regardless of how bad your current situation is or how many times you've failed in the past. Let me explain how it works now. Have you ever seen a guy at a casino who just can't stop gambling, even though he keeps losing money? Why do you think he's doing that? He logically knows that he's losing money and can even go completely broke if he continues, yet he simply can't stop himself. Why is this? This is because during gambling, a man's system experiences a heavy surge of hormones, commonly known as the pleasure hormones. They are so addictive that a person forgets all logic and keeps going in the direction of their goal. In other words, he becomes heavily impulsive. So, in order to make him impulsively desire you, you have to trigger an overflow of these pleasure hormones in his system. But the big question is, how do you do it? Well, it's really simple, and there's just one very simple thing you need to do. You have to turn yourself into a trigger of pleasurable feelings in his mind. Have you ever seen a guy who went completely nuts over a certain girl, even though she wasn't that good looking or smart? Plus, did you find yourself thinking, what does he see in her? What is so special about her? To you, she might appear completely ordinary, But to that specific man, she was the source of pleasurable feelings. And exactly as the universal psychological principle states, when a person makes us feel good, we naturally wish to have more of them in our life and feel the need to be around such a person as much as possible. So in a nutshell, you need to turn yourself into a source of pleasurable feelings for your man, which in other words means you need to position yourself in a way where any time he meets you or thinks of you, he experiences a strong and almost sudden urge of pleasurable feelings. When you achieve this, he will only experience emotions such as love, attraction, excitement whenever he is around you, and will even find himself wanting, needing, and craving your love, like a little kid craves it from his mother. Plus, there are two really amazing things which will happen next. Amazing thing number 1. You will become 100 times more valuable in his world. Something weird gets triggered inside of man when you become the source of pleasurable feelings in his world. His animalistic instinct awakens, and he feels a strong inner drive to protect you, fight for you, and would wish to never let you go. In fact, just doing this one thing alone will make him fixate on you so deeply that no other woman will be able to satisfy this intense inner urge he will experience. As a result, he will have no other woman to go to but you. You will become so important to him that he will feel like you're 100 times more interesting in comparison to every other woman out there. In fact, he will feel absolutely lucky to have you around him, and will even value whatever time and attention he gets from you. He will constantly become emotionally hungry, and you will turn into his fix. You will become the source of his emotional fulfillment, and without you, he will almost be like fish without water. Amazing thing number 2. He will see permanently committing to you as the next logical step. You won't even have to ask him to commit because he will instinctively want to be with you forever. In fact, he will be absolutely frightened of losing you to some other man and will do everything humanly possible to ensure you let him be with you. I know this sounds crazy, but he will protect you like a hungry dog protects a piece of bone. However, if he is already committed to you, you will notice that he suddenly starts finding you at least 100 times more fascinating and appealing than ever before. You will witness that he now feels subconscious urges to do nice and pleasing things for you. In fact, he will get a lot of pleasure out of making you happy. If you ask him why he suddenly feels the need to do all these wonderful things for you, he won't be able to explain it. However, internally he will feel that what he is doing is just right. So now you must be wondering, all right, Alex, I understand that in order to make him desire me on an impulsive level, I need to position myself as a trigger of pleasurable feelings. But how do I actually do it? I'm glad you asked, because I have another story which answers this very question. During the time when I was testing this formula and shared it with a bunch of women, the word got out very quickly and more women started approaching me. They got to a point where I would wake up and my email inbox would be overflowing with new messages. I used to get this pleasurable flutter in the belly every time I saw a new email, but this flutter would suddenly turn into an intense and ugly feeling of anxiety because I knew that it was impossible for me to answer all these emails, and because of this, a lot of women were going to feel heavily disappointed. Since it was impossible for me to help each and every woman one-on-one, I needed to find a solution, and it came to me in the form of a suggestion from a good friend of mine. He simply said, Alex, why don't you turn this incredible information into an online program? That way all these women can have access to your formula. That was it. I knew it was the perfect solution. So after many months of hard work, pulling in several all-nighters, and writing like a madman with swollen eyes and shivering fingers, I finally turned all the secrets into a laser-targeted, easy-to-follow online course I now call How to Make Him Desire You. I can proudly say that you won't find these secrets anywhere else. So what exactly will you learn in my course? Here's a small list of what you can expect. Discover my amazing vacuum technique that triggers an almost animalistic and raw attraction within any man. This special kind of attraction will be so strong that he will chase you with the intensity of an exploding volcano, even if he absolutely hates you right now. How to make him see you as the special one by revealing your imperfections. This twisted method will penetrate a man's mind so deeply that he will struggle to think of any other woman but you. It's crazy, and it shouldn't work, but it does. How to turn yourself into a woman every guy fantasizes about. My intrigue arousal method will supercharge your attractive force through the roof and will turn you into a woman men would fight over. Every man will tell you that you are the most fascinating woman he's ever come across after this point. You must play hard to get to keep a guy interested, right? Wrong. Introducing the mouse and cheese method. This next generation technique will make his interest in you amplify with time. This means that the flame will remain alive forever, and he will never get bored of you. Ever. This will heavily shock you the first time you use it. Is he showing signs of commitment phobia? Don't worry. You will discover the concept of the emotional attraction scale that will literally shatter all his resistance overnight. He will find himself feeling absolutely desperate to commit to you, even if he has been reluctant so far. This process creates an almost weird yet dangerously addictive effect on him. He will turn into this eager freak who wants to be with you forever. The secret to achieving the VIP status in his mind, I will show you the positioning technique, which makes a man unconsciously see you as the most important person in his life. So important that he will treat you as his top priority and will see you as absolute gold, even if you aren't that good looking, skinny, or smart. He will tell you that you're his ultimate soulmate and will even thank you for letting him be in your life. How to really make him fall in love. I'll show you how to cleverly tap into the primal brain of a man and completely rewire it to make him feel a constant overflow of love for you. He'll have no idea why he can't resist you. This is by far the fastest and easiest method to make him fall in love with you. You will also learn the anchor technique, where I'll show you how to make a man experience feelings of utter euphoria around you. Your presence will trigger a deep gut-level feeling of pleasure within him that will be so addictive that he will crave to be around you for as long as possible. The best part is that no other woman will be able to do this but you. Most women don't know this technique, which means you're going to have an unfair advantage over everyone else. Is he starting to get distant? No problem. I will show you the emotional intensifier technique, which will turn an absolutely cold and uninterested man into this desperate lover whose body will be filled to the core with pure love for you and only you. He will adore you like a little girl adores a Barbie doll, even if he thought you were dull, boring, and unattractive until this point. I'll show you how to stop being the ping pong girl who keeps going on one date after another, hoping and praying for a guy to call you back. I'll show you how to create an almost killer first impression, which will have a guy jumping up and down with utter curiosity about you. The type of curiosity which will make him talk about you with his friends. The kind of curiosity where he will eagerly wait for another date with you, exactly like a geek who eagerly awaits for his exam results. Discover the single most important thing every man desperately craves in a woman. Just knowing this one secret alone will make a man drool over you like a hungry tiger drools over a piece of meat. This is the only secret to instantly mesmerize any man with your presence and make him see you as the most interesting woman he's ever come across. I stumbled upon something I now call the indirect direct technique. Here I will show you how to make a guy do almost anything you want and make him feel like it was all his idea. Now you will be able to express your most important desires without the fear of freaking him out. This is by far the easiest and most advanced technique to getting anything you want from a man. He will literally bend to your will after this point. Do you know about the furious magnet technique? Here I will show you how to bring your ex back into your life with an almost magnetic pull. Your ex will feel a sudden inferno of magnetic pull towards you, and he won't know how you're doing it. This will trigger an almost obsessive and compulsive desire within him to be with you again. Honestly, I could go on, but this isn't even half of what's covered in my program. By now, I can tell that you understand how valuable this really is. In fact, I want you to imagine something. Just imagine feeling a sensation of absolute euphoria and that sweet tingling at the bottom of your stomach when that one special guy, the guy you absolutely adore and cherish, puts his hands firmly in your hands, stares deep into your eyes with a loving glare, and gently slides a ring across your finger. Imagine how wonderful it will feel when you can just be yourself around a man without any fear of judgments, expectations, or pressure. Imagine feeling that lightness in your chest when you can tell him things you've never shared with anyone and feel that he truly gets you. Just imagine feeling a gut-level happiness mixed with a sense of warm, laid-back comfort you've never felt before, just because you know exactly how to tackle various situations with a man. Imagine never having to go through frustrating or painful experiences with a man ever again. Just imagine how powerful you will feel when you will always intuitively know exactly what to say or do around a man to get a specific response from him, while other women mindlessly try one thing after another to only fail and sink deeper into the black hole of frustration. So now I want to ask you, what is it really worth to have the man of your dreams completely offer his mind, body, and soul to you the way you've always wanted? What is it worth to finally have a man desire and cherish you the way you only dream about? What is it worth to feel an intense and warm rush of blood throughout your body when your man showers you with passion and love so intense that it almost overwhelms you? If you're like most women, then you already spend a lot of your hard-earned money on makeup, fancy dresses, and gym memberships, all in hope of appealing to that one special guy, and hoping to get the love you desperately crave from him. In fact, during my recent study, I was surprised to discover that a woman on average carries $250 worth of makeup in her purse and spends an average of $300 per month on clothes and shoes. If you add up the cost, it comes to around $4,000 a year on makeup, clothes, and shoes alone. But there's still more. If you throw in the cost of relationship counseling sessions and seminars that women frequently take in hopes to improve their love life, this same number goes up to almost $10,000 a year. And if you have experienced any of this, then you understand that all this doesn't get you any results and only leaves you with an empty bank account and a miserable feeling in the pit of your stomach that never goes away. This is the reason why the price of my program will not only sound like an absolute steal, but it will literally blow your mind away. After several intense discussions with many women over the last few months, almost every woman told me that I should price my program at $197, just because of the sheer level of brilliant information it offers. So after a lot of careful thought, I decided to price my system at $197. But then there was a fight. I mean, a massive, heavily dramatic, and almost bloody fight. You must be wondering who I was fighting with. Well, as weird as it sounds, I was fighting with myself. I was going through an intense internal battle because my main mission was to help as many women as humanly possible. But I knew for a fact that $197 price tag might still be beyond the reach of some women. So then, while searching for possible alternatives, I decided to consult some members of my team. But oddly enough, they all told me that it would be absolutely stupid to offer this program for anything less than $197. I decided to go with their advice, but the urge inside me was just too overbearing and literally gave me sleepless nights. So, as outrageous as it sounds, I've decided to do something really stupid, but only for a very short period of time. However, the good part is that you get to take advantage of my stupidity starting right now. I have decided to go against everyone's advice and have decided that you aren't going to pay $197 for my course. You aren't even going to pay $147. Heck, you don't even have to pay $97. By ordering today only through this presentation, you get the entire system at a ridiculously low one-time only payment of $47 and turn you into a woman guys will struggle to stay away from. My program will help you become that one and only woman guys just can't stop thinking about. The kind of woman no man can ever resist, even if he wanted to. But I also need to give you a small warning. I'm only doing this as a small market test because I'm literally at war with the rest of my team who are twisting my arm to raise the price of my system each minute of every day. I don't know how long I can keep the price of this system at $47. In fact, I'm planning on raising it soon. Therefore, if you leave this page, I can't promise that you'll be able to get it for $47 again. So grab it while this really tiny window of opportunity is still open. But wait, I want to make this decision not just easy, but so outrageously valuable that you'll feel almost silly for not taking advantage of it right now. If you choose to invest in my program right now, I'll also add the audio version of this program worth $97 absolutely free. This will make the learning process ridiculously easy for you because now you can plug the audio in your iPod, phone, car, or tablet and listen to it even when you're on the go. Sounds good, but wait, there is more. I also want to give you my special report called The Secrets of Male Desire No Man Will Ever Share With You. Do you know that every man has something called the sweet spot of desire? I've developed a super advanced technique to exploit this sweet spot and make him feel an almost stalker-like attraction for you. The best part is that your man will thank you for using this on him. Yes, it sounds ridiculous, but men secretly crave this from a woman. This report is worth $27 in value, and I've taken it off the market because it was too controversial in nature. So, this is your one and only chance to get it because you can't buy it or get it anywhere else. But wait, I'm still not done. I also want to give you my Advanced Fascination Report. In this report, I've revealed my sickest method on how to fascinate a guy within seconds by triggering positive discomfort in his mind. This is a unique formula that will skyrocket your success with men to ridiculously high levels. You won't be able to find this formula anywhere else because I've invented it. This report is also worth $27 in value, and you won't be able to get it anywhere else. Now, if you add up the value of all these juicy goodies, it comes to almost $200. But by ordering today, you can get it all for a super low price of $47. But wait, I'm still not done. There is still one more thing. I also want to give you my role reversal report. Did you sleep with a guy too early and now fear that he is done with you? Does your man take you for granted and does it make you feel absolutely powerless? Did a man reject you even when you've tried your best to impress him? I've devised a very clever psychological technique which reverses any situation around to stack the odds in your favor. So, if you got rejected, you can apply this technique and suddenly he will start feeling rejected. If you were running after him in the past, you can apply this technique and he will suddenly start to run after you. This is my most secret technique. I've never shared it with anyone until today. This report is also worth $27 in value, but to be absolutely honest, it would be unfair to even put a monetary value on something as valuable as this, because the kind of results you can achieve with this are absolutely priceless. All right. Enough talk. It's time for some action now. Let me tell you exactly how to get my program and start using it 5 minutes from now. You will notice that there's a big Add to Cart button below this video. Just click on it and you'll be taken to a secure order page where you can fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Once that's done, you'll be taken to a download page where you can have instant access to the program and start reaping the benefits 5 minutes from now. Plus, I'd also like to give you my "You Are Absolutely Safe" guarantee. I'm so confident about my program that I'm going to do another ridiculous thing. Download my program right now, follow the super easy step-by-step instructions, and see how your life completely transforms right before your eyes. If over the next 60 days, you feel like you didn't get at least 10 times the value of your investment, or you just don't feel this program was right for you, even though that is almost next to impossible, or if you didn't like it for some reason, let me know and I'll give you a 100% refund. So like I already said, your investment is 100% safe with this guarantee. You have full 60 days to test it out and decide. Hit the Add to Cart button right now and let me help you completely transform your love life. Look, I don't mean to scare you, but do you know the most disastrous mistake almost every woman makes with her love life? I've seen women go from being extremely happy to desperately miserable and eventually to almost depressed in a matter of a few days just because of this very mistake. I've seen completely healthy and happy women turn themselves into this emotional mess because of this very mistake. So, what is this mistake that I'm talking about? The mistake is trying to figure out men and relationships on your own and not seeking advice. Trust me when I say this. You can't figure everything out on your own, especially when it comes to the matter of men. Men just aren't easy to figure out. Without the right knowledge, you will always struggle with relationships and will never achieve the love, affection, and peace of mind you deserve out of your life. I'm not saying this to scare you or make you feel bad about yourself. Rather, I just need you to know that trying to figure it all out on your own or depending on your friends for relationship advice is an extremely bad mistake and could mess you up emotionally for years to come. This is why I strongly urge you to hit the Add to Cart button below and put yourself in a position where everything becomes super easy and success with men looks almost effortless. All right, now you've seen and heard a lot in this presentation, and if you've got this far, then you only have 3 things to do. Thing 1. Leave this page and completely forget about what you saw or heard. Go back to living your life the way you've always lived and hope that someday things would change for you, and if that's what you're planning, I wish you all the best. Thing 2. You're probably thinking about using the free advice you got from this presentation and doing it all on your own, which will definitely work for you, but there is a very high chance that you might still struggle without knowing the right how-to steps. You could see short-term results, but it might not be permanent. Thing 3. You can stay on this page, hit the Add to Cart button below, download the program, and let me take you by the hand and guide you step by step through the whole process and put you on the fast track to massive success. And you understand that you have absolutely zero risk, as you have full 60 days to try the system. Therefore, this should be a very easy decision for you. Plus, do not put this off even one more second, because as you've already noticed, I cut the price from $197 to only $47, just so you could jump in right now. Honestly, since my team is consistently pushing me to raise the price back to where it deserves to be, I'll have to do it eventually. So act now before this happens. Hit the Add to Cart button below and download the program right now. I also need to mention something even more important. Do you know that the problems that aren't resolved today will most likely never be resolved? If your relationship is going downhill, then the odds are it will continue to go downhill unless you do something about it right now. If you lost your boyfriend or husband to another woman, then there's a very high chance that you might never get them back, unless you take the right steps starting right now. You can't expect your man to magically fulfill all your desires and give you the love you desperately crave, unless you do something about it right now. You can't wait around and assume that someday things will change and that he will magically turn into this amazing person you've always wanted him to be. It just isn't going to happen. In life, we're either growing or dying. If you aren't consciously working on making things better right now, then things are getting worse by default. I can't tell you how many women I know who have spent 10 plus years of their life in utter misery and now wish that they could turn back time to do something about it. Don't let yourself be that woman. Don't wait for tomorrow, next week, next month, or even next year. Act right now. Click on the Add to Cart button below and let me help you. Look, in the very short time we've had together, I've shown you that you can get complete control of your love life and mesmerize any man at will, as long as you have the right set of tools at your disposal. I've also shown you that the reason why some women are massively successful while others miserably fail is because successful women actively use these tools in their daily life and reap massive benefits consistently. And finally, you understand that the only predictable way to achieve success with your love life is to have access to these tools. So, since we agree on this, don't you think you should take immediate action by hitting the Add to Cart button below and take advantage of this special opportunity right away? So now, I leave it up to you now. You can either learn these tools and give yourself an almost magical power to get anything you want from a man, or you can let yourself suffer the torture of having to figure it out on your own. The choice, as usual, is yours. Still skeptical? No problem. Let me address some frequently asked questions. When will I receive How to Make Him Desire You program? You will receive the program right away after you order. The main course is in PDF format, which means you can instantly download it to your computer, tablet, or phone and start reading it 5 minutes from now. How easy is that? I'm scared of sharing my credit card information with you. Your transaction will be 100% secure and private. You will be billed by ClickBank for your privacy. It's a very reputed company which has been in business for the last 14 years. You can always Google them for more information. Also, your credit card statement won't show that you bought How to Make Him Desire You system. Rather, it will show a charge from ClickBank for your complete privacy. How fast will I see results? Results could be seen right away after the application of the methods mentioned in the program. Therefore, the faster you apply them, the faster you will see results. What if, for some reason, it doesn't work for me? As far as my experience goes, that is next to impossible. After you apply the concepts from the program, you will realize that things which used to seem impossible in the past suddenly appear so easy that you'd kick yourself for not having discovered this course earlier. What if I have extra questions? No problems. In fact, that would be even better. I would love to assist you personally if you have any extra questions. You will be provided special contact details on the download page where you can easily get answers to any questions you might have. Listen, You have nothing to lose and the rest of your life to enjoy the unparalleled power you'll get with your relationships. Grab hold of this opportunity right now before it's too late. Click on the Add to Cart button below this video, and I'll see you on the inside. Still here? No worries. Let me share a little more of what I've covered in my program. The one clever secret to knowing exactly when a man is lying to you and how to make him tell you the truth. Try my reverse action test on him today and watch him vomit all the lies out of his mouth. This method is so effective that he will feel a very painful and intense urge to share the truth with you. The secret to my effortless conversation. You will discover my 3T formula, which has an almost hypnotic effect on men when you talk to him. This incredible formula flips an unconscious switch in your man's mind and makes him say yes to all of your requests. You will feel like an absolute champion after you discover this. Discover the secret of unconscious bonding. Do you know that you can trigger instant chemistry with any man by just talking to him once? Yes, just once. I have a secret way to bypass a man's logical brain and penetrate his emotional brain. Knowing this alone will make men absolutely ache with desire for you. You'll never need to try hard to capture a man's attention after this point. How to comfort a man the right way. I will show you the concept I call the bubble of safety. This makes a man feel a strong need to share his most secretive thoughts with you. This is the only working method to make him completely open up within seconds. How to cheat-proof your relationship. I will show you how to hammer your image in his mind so deeply that the very idea of cheating on you will disgust him to the very core. He will remain loyal to you exactly like a puppy dog which remains loyal to its owner. And once again, I could go on, but this is still not even half of what I've covered in my program. Hit the Add to Cart button below, and I'll see you on the inside.